Hi guys, I've been saying for some time that integration is a two-way street. People who come to a country, be them migrants, be them asylum seekers, need to integrate. It benefits them, but it also benefits the society if they integrate. But also there's a responsibility on politicians, on political commentators and members of the public to facilitate that integration because it benefits them as well. Now, people like Alex Phillips, broadcaster and supporter of the likes of Reform UK, want people to integrate, but she doesn't seem to be all that interested in helping them to do so.
And you've got similar policies being adopted in Sweden. These are sort of proposals that are now being looked into across Europe because we've realised what's happened with levels of immigration and lack of integration. It's creating social disquiet and disharmony to the point in which people are even starting to use words such as civil war, for crying out loud. Now, I think there is nothing wrong with defending your national cultural mores, your communal morality. And I think that that's what we need to be doing. I fully agree. We need to ban the full face covering, which they've done in Denmark. I think that is absolutely right. I think that is a barrier for integration if you're not making...
Okay, I've mentioned this before. If you ban the burqa, and I'm no supporter of the burqa, I think it's an oppressive tool. Let me be very clear about that. But if you ban the burqa, do you think it's going to help those women? Do you think it's going to help them integrate? Because if their husband or partner is saying, you must wear this burqa to leave the house, and then the country that they're living in bans the burqa, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the husband or partner is going to go, well, you know, it's banned, but you have to go to the supermarket. So what you'll do is you'll go to the supermarket without the burqa. No, they will force the woman to stay at home. Now, how do you think that's going to help integration? What we need to see is empowerment of women. The women must be in a position where they say to their partner or their husband, no, I'm not actually going to wear this. And they should have the support of the community and society in taking that decision.
Making eye contact. English language is vitally important. I think we need to look at the amount of translation services we offer. I personally...
Okay, so look, the translation services and learning English are two separate things. And it's strange because Reform UK seem to support one day and they're against it the next. What I mean by that is translation services in the NHS, for example, also help, for example, tourists. If tourists have an accident or they're coming just for a special treatment and they're not moving to the UK, translation services are vital. Now, learning English, yes, people should learn English. But unfortunately, there are people within Reform UK who are saying, well, people should not come to the country unless they can speak English, even if they're asylum seekers. But they also want to cut funding for English lessons for foreigners. So once again, you have the likes of Reform UK. I know she's not officially Reform UK, but she's banging their drum from time to time. You can't say we want people to integrate, but we don't want to facilitate that integration.
Would go as far as getting rid of faith schools that are not Catholic or C of E, which tend to allow children from other faiths to come in, because I don't think taking children away and educating them primarily in their own cultural context is healthy. And
so she wants to ban faith schools unless they're Church of England or Catholic. Okay, that's a strange one. And if that's the case, once again, do you think that's going to facilitate integration? Like, she keeps complaining about people are not integrating. So what I support doing is taking away measures that help people to integrate. Now, I'm no advocate for faith schools. I don't think they should exist. We should have secular education. I don't believe in religious education. But if in a free society, people should be able to set up a religious school and parents should be free to send their children to those religious schools. But it's strange how Alex Phillips here wants some banned and others not banned.
And I personally would also go as far as banning the slaughter of animals that haven't been pre-stunned. And I'd say to...
I actually agree with that. I don't see the justification for that. But that's a cultural issue where you need to convince people, look, this position that you hold, this cultural aspect, explain to people why it's wrong. Explain to people why there are better alternatives. And that involves sitting down with people and discussing these things, debating these things. But you can't debate these things if you don't want people to integrate.
Anybody who says, well, we don't like that and we demand exceptions because of what we want within our system, this is our country. We believe in animal welfare. We don't believe that women should be shamed for exposing their faces. And we believe little children should all play in a sandpit together. Simple.
Liz?
It's simple. But once again, you're not facilitating that integration. What has Alex Phillips and Reform UK done to help people integrate? They seem to be on the opposite side. They want to put barriers in front of that integration and then say, oh, why haven't these people integrated? These people are a problem. Look, she doesn't want immigrants coming in. She's been very clear about that in the past. But we're talking about people who are already in the country. Do you really want them to integrate? Then you have to hold up your hands and say, I have failed to help them integrate. This is what I'm going to do to facilitate future integration. Because if you don't do that, then you have no right to complain. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.